Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. So I've got the new station up in front of me. I have got logged in. I've recovered my wallet, so to speak. I use Ledger for mostly everything, so it's a pretty easy process for me. Now, I'm really enjoying this. It's good to start getting back online, getting streamlined and getting things back to normal. Now, with this, it seems a lot of stuff has been fixed. Some things have been added, some things have been corrected, but everything seems to be working as it should be for once, which is really good. This is what we were used to as a Genesis community. Now, the video, dynamic commission based on voting power. This is such an important part of the United vision myself and Straff Cole have put forward. And the reason why this one's so important is simply if we go to stake, and we look at the top validators, we can see it's very centralized up here in this top section here. Now, we can correct this and we can prevent it in the future and reduce the amount of changes ever needed. So there's none of these crazy changes that people like Fireblocks simply don't like to see. So moving back to this is a Commonwealth. It's going to be moving to a proposal very soon. So if we're putting these up as proposals, you can understand that we have the ability to do this. Otherwise, we wouldn't have put the proposal up to move to this stage. Now, me and myself and Strafe, we understand the community's need for complex and simple, outlining of what there is to these proposals, because a lot of the time people just can't understand stuff, and that's totally acceptable. So what we are doing is a simplified version, which will be here. You can grab it from that link just there. And for most of you, you're going to want to dive into the simple version. Some people are going to want to dive into the more complex version. What I'm going to do is cover this simple version because it really does bring the idea forward for you to understand what's going on. And then we'll look at the charts. So the main idea is that LUNC's blockchain has some big players with too much control. We want to change this by adjusting how much they have to charge based on how much control they have. This will help make the LUNC blockchain more fair and safe. So why is this important? Over time, a few key players on our LUNC blockchain have been gaining too much power. Even after setting some rules, they seem to have even more control than before. And this is because more and more small nodes are dropping out. They can't afford to run. There's no incentive and they've got no chance of even getting to a profitable stage. So here's why it's a problem. It can make the LUNC blockchain less safe. Smaller players feel left out and might stop participating, which we've just explained. LUNC has always aimed to be a fair system for everyone. We're supposed to be decentralized. We're simply not. So what others are saying, big names outside of LUNC are also worried about this. It's something to take serious. So our plan and our example, we've come up with a formula that decides how much the big players have to charge. The more control they have, the more they need to charge. This makes it fairer for everyone. But there's another important thing. During the update, all validators will have their lowest maximum allowed charge set to 20%. That's their minimum. And when new validators join, they can set their charge higher than this, right? So we're not limiting any of these nodes that are struggling. They have free roam. Now, this is pretty much a sliding scale like we're explaining, right? So if player X has a bit of control, say 2%, then they can charge a bit 1.6%. But if they don't have a lot of control, like 10%, they'll have to charge a lot, 18%. This way, newer or less popular players can have a better chance. So how will this work? Every so often, the blockchain will automatically check and adjust how much players have charged based on their control. So if a player gets more control, the amount they need to charge at minimum will also go up. But if their control goes down, their charge won't go lower than what they initially set. This is to make sure that things don't change too quickly and make the blockchain unstable. So the benefits: more balanced participation. This helps everyone get a fair shot. A safer blockchain. By spreading out the power, our LUNC blockchain becomes safer and harder to cheat. Easily challengeable. If we need to make tweaks in the future, we can. So looking ahead, we'll keep checking to see if the sliding scale is working, if it needs any changes based on how balanced the blockchain is, how our participants think, how LUNC is performing overall. So in conclusion, making these changes will help the LUNC blockchain stay transparent, fair, and safe for everyone. And guess what? Correct the long-running issue of centralized voting power. So people that are worried that certain validators might not vote for this, I am under the understanding historically that all nodes put up something very similar to this way back a long time ago. No one really paid attention to it. It didn't seem something we should pursue, and I wasn't a validator then. So this is really interesting. So one thing to remember is that for this plan to work, we might need to make some changes to the LUNC core blockchain. That will take some time and effort because we'll have to put in pull requests with TFL, and it's down to how quick they do that, so to speak. Now, you've got the real simplified version. If we go back, you can see a nice chart. You can get a breakdown of all the mechanics. You can get a breakdown of everything. But this is the first step of the United Vision, which is in the community section. If you haven't seen the Expedition United Vision, go and have a look at it. Go look at the videos that we've got up. Take a good look at everything and, you know, try to understand that we're not just simply trying to stop things and crash the blockchain and do all these crazy things. We've got a plan. We've got this idea of what we want to produce, what we want to go through, and what we think is essential right now. And it just seems the dynamic commission module, which is number 5, is so important over everything in here. So like I said, we'll leave this for a couple of days. We'll let people lull on it. We'll let people comment back. We'll make any changes if we need to. But ultimately, this will be going up for proposal soon. Now, what we're going to need is the support of a lot of different people, and a lot of different people are split into different factions at the moment. There's a lot of FUD being spread about different people, and, you know, I'm just here to help this blockchain grow, ensure we can afford things, ensure we can do things within our budget like this, right? All of this work me and Straff are going to do is volunteered. We're not charging anything. We're not seizing any power. We're not seizing any paychecks. We're simply here to get the job done. And that really is it. Folks, I hope you got something interesting in this. Try and share this out. I hope you vote yes to this. I hope you support it. If you don't, I totally get it. If you want things to remain centralized and you like it that way, I totally understand. But I think a lot of the smaller nodes are going to understand that, hey, this really does help us out. And the bigger nodes are going to think to themselves, hey, we could do the honorable thing here, say yes to this, and allow them to correct things through this dynamic commission. So just before we head off, if we switch networks, right, and we look quickly, just in case you don't know this, we switch to the mainnet, okay? We go to manual stake and we get the validators up. We shift the voting power to the top. Nobody's got over 4%, right? And that's because of the way the system's built, the way it's been introduced, the way it does everything, right? Folks, like I said, stay safe, stay humble, stay aware, and I will catch you in the next one.